We are live. We are live. We ain't got no music today. We're going to get right
No,
into it.
straight
What's
into it.
up, everybody? Welcome back to Mad Translation, where we bridge the gap. Retake. We are live. We bridge the gap in communication between men and women so that we can push the needle and move the culture forward. Now, normally in December is when we normally do a recap, a reflection. We do that normally in December. But I felt like, this is August. We've been the eighth month. We only got 4 months to go. And it's my show. I can do whatever I want to do. So I want to do a recap. I want to do a recap. And the reason I want to do a recap is because we don't know how to connect the dots in our lives. We don't. So I am Sky C, the entrepreneur, the everything woman, and this is Dante V. He is the communication and relationship strategist. I am. I do some of everything, and that's why I really wanted to talk about this because everything I'm doing in my life right now, every job that I had, every class that I've ever taken has all prepared me for this place I am in my life. And so I am a wealth of knowledge. I am a wealth of experience. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like this is just to me the greatest time in my life because I have connected. It's like a convergence that happens. And a lot of times people do not connect the dots in their lives. They don't understand that things truly do happen for a reason.
Uh-huh. Yes,
So
it
we're gonna go through some of the shows that we talked about. Some of the shows that were really when I went back and looked at the numbers, the popular shows. All the shows are popular, but some of them are more popular than others.
yes.
And the reason why I'm really proud of this show is because I don't troll. We don't troll for content. We don't go looking at nobody else for content. Everything on this show is original, from the song. Everything comes out of our own creativity. The titles of the show and everything. So that I'm really proud of that because a lot of times people will troll and go on other people's pages and get ideas. Now sometimes we do talk about current events if I feel as though that it relates to the show. I will talk about it. We will talk about that. But for the most part, we're coming here from our own experiences, sharing with
Uh-huh.
you so that you can create a better quality of your life. See, people try to make you think that you need money to create the quality of life that you want, but you don't. You
That's
don't.
right.
Yeah, you really don't. You really have to just really pay attention to the things that's happening, that's going on in your life. Like last week, we talked about regret, how to break free,
Because
from regret.
that's
we,
a
yeah, we talked
hey, that's
about
a lot.
how decisions shift the direction of your life. It's more than just changing lanes. It's when you totally take your life in a totally different direction and you find yourself stuck or you find yourself on a dead end street and you don't know how to what you say, Dante, make a U-turn.
Yeah, just make that U-turn. No, you want to take it down all the way down to the next exit because you already know you lost. No, listen, we burning gas. Gas is expensive. We don't need to be doing all that. Gas and
Gas
time. We
prices
got
is
that.
going down. They're going down in Texas. Our prices is going down. I think we down to like 365
No, we still in the fours in some places.
in some
Well,
places.
around here. Yeah.
So we talked about that. We talked about single women raising boys because it's very challenging when you're raising a
Uh-huh.
boy. We talked about the taboos that go along with that. How some women think they could be mothers and fathers. You can't be mothers and fathers. You can only be mothers. And what the role of a
Stay in your
mother
lane.
is, yeah, and how children need their mothers and their fathers. Like everybody needs role models. Everybody needs somebody to mentor. Everybody needs
Yeah.
somebody to
Hello?
show them an example.
let me piggyback off that for one moment because it's definitely something that I did not say when we did that show. When you
Yeah,
try to do both jobs or both roles, it just in that child's mind, it voids out the fact that they need a particular person in their life. And then
yeah,
they grow up like, well, I need my father because my mom, she did this, and this. Given the illusion or the thought that you only need one parent. Is it possible? Yes, it is. But you're not required to do both. You only got one lane. Stay in that one lane. A mother is a mother. Father is a father. That's it.
and that's really the whole premise of the show is to really share with you that men have a different perspective, and it's a
Hmm.
perspective that's necessary and it's different and it's needed. And that's the thing that we don't realize. Men and women don't think alike. That's why we do this show. And we've kind of let women take a peek into the mind of a man and how men really think. They have a different perspective. It's not that it's a bad thing, it's just different. And we need it. And so when you're a single woman and you're trying to raise a boy, there's going to be a disconnect in communication.
Hmm.
There's going to be a
Yes,
disconnect
it
in
is.
communication. I raised two sons and two daughters, and I didn't really have a blueprint as to how to do it. When they got to a certain age, I just threatened their lives. I'm like, I'm not raising no criminals. I'm not raising no drug addicts. You ain't got to deal with the police. You going to deal with me. They used to call me the warden because I used to carry a lot of keys. They'd be like, here come mommy. And
Do
I've
what
been
you think to that
following
day.
suit since I was 13. So they grew right on past me. I had to go ahead on and get a 3x4, a 2x4, to make up the difference in height. So I just threatened their lives and said, listen, y'all can't go out here and do A, B, C, D, or E because you're going to have to deal with me. And then I was the type of mother that I'll pop up on you because you don't never
It's
know who
low.
I will pop up
We
on
heard
you.
that all the time. You ain't never know where I'm gonna be.
And
I'm
I've
gonna
been
get it.
popped up. I will pop up to that school. You ain't got to call me. I will pop up to that school in a minute. And the thing is, with popping up, you don't have to pop up that many times. If you come up there
Nope.
unexpectedly, because they don't want me coming up there acting ugly, because they don't want to be embarrassed in front of their friends.
It wasn't even about being embarrassed. It was more so of the fact of getting caught doing something you didn't want to do. Because y'all, and it's you and dad. It was really more so you than dad. Y'all would see us doing something. Granted, we wasn't bad kids, but every once in a while, we done did something. And y'all pop up, and y'all would just see us doing something and just walk off. The rest of the day, we didn't know what was gonna happen. And she gonna come back up here, and we walk into the hey, mom, how you
I
you all
popped up
right?
on you. Remember I popped up on you, Dante? You and your little friend was going in the record store and he was getting ready to steal. He was getting ready to steal. And I was watching both of y'all and I saw him and when I saw he was getting ready to make his move, I called your name. And you turned
Uh-huh.
around and looked, I'm like, you supposed to be going straight home. The rule is go straight home. Okay? Not stop at the record store, go straight home.
That's how
So
this,
I would,
this how
I
old this
was,
conversation is because they actually had record stores at one point in time. That wasn't Best Buy. It
they
was not
had
Best Buy.
record stores. They had record stores, yes. But I think that people do not have the awareness. It's like information. In order for information to be used, it has to be connected.
Yes,
And
it
you're
does.
going through things in your life and you're not making those connections. You're not understanding that that thing that you went through is connected to something else that you're going to have to deal with down the line. You just think everything is a separate situation, and it's not. It all is going to lend itself. It's all trying to teach you something. It truly is. Life truly is like a puzzle. It truly is. And you're trying to gather the pieces of the information. Because remember, you can have all the pieces in the box, but still not know where they go. Still got to figure out where everything
Mm-hmm.
goes.
Yes,
Before
you
you can
do.
you gotta first gather the pieces. So you're not even making the connections that all day long. Like people are saying things. I'm making connections all day long in my mind. Information, things are connected. Oh, I'm like, oh, okay, that's how. Okay, okay, I got that. That's why I carry like a little pad around with me to write things down. Because all day long, information is coming, and I'm making those connections. And I'm at a place in my life now where I have all the pieces to a certain thing, but now I got to figure out where everything goes. And then once I figure out where everything goes, it's going to be on and popping after that. You know what I'm saying? And then it's going to be another part of my life that I'm going to be, getting the pieces. So that's why I wanted to do this recap, because life is about building blocks. Because you're building something, whether you know it or not. You're building. Even the person that you meet in a relationship that might not work out. What did you learn?
Yeah, that's the major thing, and not point the finger at what that other person did. What did you get from her? What could you have done better in that situation overall? Because you pointing the finger at everybody, you're not addressing the issue that you're not addressing the issues that you have with you, or the issues, the faults that you had to play in that. So
Because people act as mirrors in your life. Those things that you see in people that you don't really like is normally it's the same thing in yourself that you don't like. But you're not going to tell
mhm.
yourself you don't like that thing about yourself. You're just going to go around pointing it out in other people. So life's mirror is trying to tell you that's the thing that you need to change. That thing that you laughing about and kikiing about somebody else, that's the thing that you need to change in your own life. It's true. That's the thing, because people, you can't change what you don't see. Remember in the movie with Tina
Or
Turner,
knowledge.
and she said, she was into the Buddhism and she was chanting, and she was
Mhm.
like, "What were you doing when I came in?" And she was like, "Chanting is like life mirror." And if you look into the mirror, if anything that you see, you can change. If you can't see yourself, you're not going to change. In order for you to change, you got to see you. And so if you're not like, if you're not a spiritual person, you don't believe in God and all of that, then life is going to be your mirror. People are going to be your mirror. You're going to see yourself in those people. And people will sit around and complain about people and say all this kind of stuff about people, but for real, you're talking about yourself. Like the situation with Kim Burrell. I said that. The situation with Kim Burrell, I kept saying she's talking about herself. I kept saying that. She's talking about herself. Everybody got all offended.
That's gospel lady, right?
Yeah, I don't know what she said. She was calling people ugly and all kind of stuff. Whatever, Kim. But that people went back. This is social media. People went back and found videos of her when she had bad hair and shoes turned over when she fell on the stairs and all that stuff. They went back and found all that stuff. They went back really and found all the stuff that she was saying about people. She was really talking about herself. I kept saying that. She's talking about herself. Y'all have to understand when people are projecting. What is a projector? A projector is going to project whatever is on the inside out.
Out.
It's going to project it out.
Mhm.
So that thing that you see, Buddha, you the star in your own movie. Don't push that over here. You talking about yourself. And so we have to do that. Like if you don't do that on your own intentionally, look within yourself and want to be aware and make those changes, then if you keep going through the same problem over and over and over again, what is life trying to tell you?
And more importantly, what are you missing?
What are
Because
you
you're
missing?
missing something, because you think, okay, I got it. And then you go back and repeat the same steps you did last time, which is
Which
little
is the
insane.
definition of insanity, yeah.
And then you keep doing it, you keep doing it. And it's like, although the situation is the same, but the characters or the people are different, but you're missing something. You, and there's a disconnect with that as well.
Why do I keep attracting the same type of men? Why do I keep attracting the same type of men? Because you're sending off the same type of scent.
Not only that, you're not even taking the time out to go back on the last relationship that you exited or was exited from you to realize, okay, here's what I need to do. Oh, that was their fault. That's their problem. And then now you hop into another relationship thinking everything's going to be the same because that last person was a problem. I'm fine. And then you not only did you attract the same person, you moved on too quick. So you're doing the same thing and you're going to get the same result.
Yeah. Because they blame the other person, so they never. There's no when the relationship doesn't work, both people have to take the blame. When the relationship doesn't work,
Yes.
it's something about both people, not just a one person. You have to look at yourself and say, now, what is it that I want to do differently in my next relationship? You can't blame everything just on that person why the
No, you cannot.
relationship didn't work.
No, you
And that's
cannot.
why. And let's talk. And let's segue into the show we did called The One. That's why I don't believe there is no such thing as the
Uh,
one.
it is. It is. It is. It is.
No. My fiance, every day, he would say to me, God said, you're my wife. Every day. And
Well,
I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. Fast forward, I broke off the engagement, okay? And he really wanted to be married. And I really wanted him to be married, but not to me. And so,
not right. That is not
over
right.
the years, we kept in touch and everything. I'm like, you're not married yet. You're not married yet. You're not married yet. Finally, he got married. I was so happy he got married. I really was, because he wanted to be married so bad. And he finally got married. I was so happy he got married. And I said, see, if I was really the one, you wouldn't be married. I wasn't the one. There's no such thing as the one.
It
I
is.
was
It,
not the one. I am a
you
wife,
weren't.
but I'm not your wife. If
Okay,
I
hold
was
on.
the
So
one, no. If I was the one, then why is he married then? He would have never been married. I'm not. I wasn't the
you
one.
again one and I do not dispute anyone what they hear from God because that's to you and
He
God.
was
No, no, that's my disclaimer. Let's get that out the way now. But also, like you said, you might have been the one for him, but in vice versa, it's like you're not the one for me because again, he has his checklist. And of course, he checking out. Okay, she got this, and you still looking at your piece of paper like,
And I checked off 3 things on my checklist. So how you the one? Uh-uh.
because in order for you to be, again, this goes back to God's perfect will and the permissible will. Like, hey, this is not who you're supposed to be with, but because you really want this, I'll allow it. Or and you're not supposed to be with this person at all. So for you, it probably would have been the permissible will that you have been with him, but for him, you were the perfect will.
So
Now,
what
I don't
did
know
I
nothing about
learn?
his.
What did I learn from that situation? This is what I learned. I learned that I didn't want to be married. That's what I learned. I learned that I did not want to be married. It was crystal clear as day, as the most beautiful Hawaiian water that you've ever seen in your life. It was clear as day. I learned that I did not want to be married, that once was enough, and I didn't want to be, and I did not want to give my life to nobody. I don't care. I don't want to give my life to nobody. But when you get married, you are giving your life for the rest of your life. Like my mind can't even fathom being married. I can't even get past the everyday. I can't even get past that. I can't even get past that I gotta be with you. See, somebody being a truck driver or somebody being in the military, you don't really get to see them. So everything keeps being fresh. They go away for a while, then they come back. It's like, hey, hi, I missed you. Okay, bye bye, go go go. And the truck driver the same thing. But I gotta be with you every day, every day. I gotta sleep with you, get up every day, every day. See, I can't get past it every day. Didn't I just see you yesterday? And now you coming back again today? No, 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 not every day. Not every day. I can't do that every day. So I just feel like I'm not. It's not meant for me to be married. Mm-mm. No, because I
Um,
like adventure. I like things to be new. I'm a creative. So all that everyday stuff, no. Mm-mm. I'm gonna get tired of you in about 3 weeks. Can't do it. And I think that's why God gives us a special love for our children that we don't get tired of them. Cause y'all, y'all gotta go through. Then I see you too yesterday. Lord have mercy.
really, that was a good one.
So yes, I don't believe there's a such thing as the one. I just don't. Mm-mm. I think if Adam would have said no, I don't want Eve, God would have made him somebody else.
I don't know. Again, I
You would
just
just made him somebody
highly,
else.
highly
Okay.
debatable.
If you want that one, I'll make you another one then. Because why? Look at all these relationships not working. All these people
Because they're not
marriages
with the
not
person that they're
working.
supposed to be with. They are literally forcing the square the square peg in a round hole, trying to make it work, and it's not. This relationship been over. Why? Because you picked it. This is not a relationship from God. This is not the person that God sent for you. This is just the person that you choose to tolerate day in, day out because y'all look good together. Y'all think your relationship goes. Meanwhile, on the inside, you about tired of him or her. Just like you said, didn't I see you yesterday? Don't you got something to do? Don't you got friends? Go home. Go out. Go do something.
Now you don't know. Who Lord. So then we did for the month. What month is mental illness month? So we
I
talked
think it was.
about
I think it was Matt.
yeah, we did men's mental health. We did infidelity and mental illness, and then we just did, just like a mental health like checkup to be able to, just keep your mental in order. How to reduce stress. How to identify the stressors in your life.
Mm.
Taking a new job is a stressor. Getting married, getting divorced, moving is a stressor. How do you how do
I mean, getting divorced is a stressor for one of them, not both of them. Let's get that out of the way now.
Well, it's considered a stressor, Dante. And unless you want to go in the medical field and change it, it's considered a stressor. To get divorced is considered a stressor.
I was happy as hell. What?
I mean,
I
so
don't
was
even. I don't even drink. I don't even drink, and I didn't have any money that day, but I wanted to go downtown, have a drink, and celebrate for myself. But
well,
I
that
get it. I
time you was
understand what you're
married
saying.
to, you needed to go get a drink.
Yes. Yes. I
Anyway,
don't know. Give me the
so we
strongest whatever you got in
covered
there.
all of that. We focus more on the men's, mental health because women, do things for their mental health. They go to spas, they get massages. Men kind of, walk around and have everything all pent up until one little feather drops and then they explode.
I think
It used to be this cartoon called Milton. It's an old cartoon, and whenever Milton got upset, he would he would hey girl.
next.
He
Well,
said you should have called her. Yvonne
I
said you should have called
should have.
her. And his top would just come off, and all the steam would just blow out his top. It's an
Hmm.
old. So we talked about the mental health thing, the infidelity. People don't really realize, if you're not in your right mind or if you're dealing with mental issues, you're not gonna be good in relationships. What's good? What's
No.
up, man? We're doing a recap of some of a lot of our popular topics that we came up with that people really enjoyed because people don't really connect the dots in their lives. They don't take all the puzzle pieces and put it together. And if you don't put if you never put the pieces together, you're never going to get a clear picture. That's the whole point. You're never going to get a clear picture. And you're going to keep going around in that same cycle because you're not understanding that this little piece of information is helping you in some type of way, shape, or form. It's helping you in some type of way. It helped me to know that my fiance taught me I don't want to be married ever for the rest of my life to nobody. Okay? We talked about the ultimate you really do have to take care of you first. And when you get older, that becomes your priority.
Yes, it
You
does.
taking care of your children. She said my divorce was the fourth happiest day of my life after the birth of my three kids. LOL, it was peaceful for me. Yeah. It's like, we talked about that because 9 times out of 10, you probably wasn't with the person you were supposed to be with.
Because
life
they
is
wasn't the one.
He wasn't the one because there's no such thing as the one, Dante.
Yes, it is.
We're not gonna
It
keep talking about
is.
this the one. Okay, listen. Okay, let's go. Let's go to church for a minute. Let's go to church
Amen.
for a minute.
Amen. Hold on. Wait a minute now.
Go
Let
to
me get my
church for a
communion.
minute. Go to church. All right. So the Bible says, "Who can find a virtuous woman?" So that lets me know that men are looking for a virtuous woman. But they stop reading right there. If you keep on reading, if you keep on just go down a little bit further, a couple doors down, it says, "Who can find a faithful man?" So women are looking for a faithful man, and men are looking for a virtuous woman. So finding the virtuous woman, because he asked the question, because the question was put on the table. What does that tell you? It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Who can find a faithful man? Guess who ain't gonna try? Me.
Yeah, because you're not trying. But either way, again, it does not say that these two people don't exist. They do.
They do exist, but you sit back and watch all the heartache and pain that people go through trying to find the one. Nope, that ain't the one. Nope, that ain't the one. Nope, they just go from broken relationship to broken relationship to broken relationship, trying to find the one, trying to find a faithful man, trying to find exactly. It takes too long. She said a needle in the haystack take way too long. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time.
Because again, like most things in life, you say, again, mom, you taught me this. When you pray, you have to be more specific in your prayers. So when you're praying for quote unquote the one, your actions and your life should be reflective of such. But you going out there trying to do it yourself, you're gonna meet dead end after dead end after dead end. Because what you want for you and
Who
what you
can
pray for is two
find a
different things.
faithful man?
If God is
Where
going
he
to
at?
deliver
Where he
such
at?
to
Where the
you,
faithful
it's
man at?
possible.
First of all, most people don't know how to court each other. Ain't nobody courting. They don't even know what courting is. They don't even know that dating comes after marriage. So that you already out of order. You dating and fornicating and everything else, and you keep on. The monkeypox ain't playing. The monkeypox is not playing. The monkeypox ain't playing with you. They ain't playing. Dating comes after marriage.
Oh my gosh.
Not before. Go to church on it. Yes. Who can find a faithful man? Who? What is the number one thing that women complain about? He cheated. He cheated. And there's more than one way to cheat. You could be an emotional cheater. If the man is emotionally not available, you still cheating. If he at work and he got a work wife, he cheating again. If you talking to the person on your job more than you talking about the woman that you made a vow to, you cheating. So it's more than one kind of cheating. Who can find a faithful man? I don't have time to be trying to look. I think I'm grateful to have had the one opportunity, and out of that one opportunity, I have three beautiful children, and I'm cool with it. The rest of my life belong to me. Yes, and the Lord. That's it. I'm done for
All right,
done.
Sharon. Oh,
And these days, who can find a virtuous woman? You don't see a lot of virtuous women. You can't. It's a challenge to even try to buy clothes. Everything all tore out on the side. You can't drink. You got holes on the side of the dress. Everything tight and hugging, or the back is out, the front, all cleavage is out. Like you can't. Virtuous women, where they at? Where they at? Thank you. Where they at?
thank you, Auntie.
Where they at?
Again,
Where they at?
it's still I don't know. I'm still holding on to the fact that it's possible.
Child, please. I'm telling you, I'm about to pull out my sewing machine, start making my own clothes. You can't even find clothes. Everything tight and nothing comes to your knees. Everything is either mini skirt. Who wearing that? I don't dress like that. Never did. Nope. I might wear Daisy Dukes in the house. I don't wear them outside. I'm not wearing that outside every day. But anyway, what else? We talked about main chick, side chick. That was a popular show. Are you the main chick or the side chick? Sometimes you're the main chick and you end up being the side chick and you thought you was the main chick. Now you on the side. Chick, waddle, waddle, chick.
This is very true. This is true.
See, who can find a faithful man? Why? First of all, you can't even handle one woman. Why you got two and three? Yvonne cracking up. Why you got two and three? Come on, like for real. We have to, I really want us to kind of look at ourselves as a culture of people and understand that we have to do better. We really do. We really have to do better. Like somebody has to step up to the plate and say, look, this is not the way this thing is supposed to go. You can't even handle one woman. And you trying to have two? A main woman? Why would you get married and then want to have a chick on the side? Like why would you want to do that? Just talk about it, Dante.
The reason why they want to because they know and they think that the main chick ain't gonna go nowhere because most women want to be married. They want to have the husband and the 2.5 children with the nice house with the white picket fence. They want those things, so they're willing to endure that. Oh, some of the older women, these younger women now, they leave you in a heartbeat, no problem. But the main thing is they think that she's not going to leave, so they're going to go off and do whatever.
But you have to understand the purpose of a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the word abuse comes from abnormal use. You have to know the purpose of a thing. That's not the purpose of marriage. I just understand why people get married, don't know what the purpose of it is. Like, why even bother? Just stay single. Why don't you just stay single if you want to have a harem?
Because they can't stay single because being with someone is an escape from them dealing with them.
Talk about it, Dante.
Which is why most people hop from person to person. They can't be by themselves. They don't know how to be by themselves because when you're lonely, you got to deal with you. You don't know how to deal with you.
It is. She said, "Child, that being married today is too much. It is too much." And I don't think we have enough examples. I don't think we have really enough examples. And then even if we do have an example, it's always of the woman being ran over. We talked about that. That was a popular show too. The ride or die chick. They ride into the grave. You know what I'm saying? They ride into the grave. A ride or die chick means that how much of your junk can I take? And so we grow up in those relationships seeing, mom not live out her dreams. She's doing everything for dad. She's not accomplishing anything. He cheating and beating her up and everything. So the ride or die chick is not really a positive connotation. It's very negative. It's a very negative
Mm-hmm.
thing. We're not criminals. This is not Bonnie and Clyde. We're not robbing banks and check cashing places. You see what I'm saying?
You think I check out places?
Yes, they still got check cashing places. You know what I'm saying? So we're not even seeing, just a positive example of people being
No.
married for long periods of time. When I see older people married a long time, I be like, you need to write a book because people need to know how to do
No,
it.
because here's the issue with that.
My patience and tolerance too short for all that riding and dying.
Mm.
Mine too. And that's the thing. As you get older, your tolerance level for the foolishness becomes non-existent.
Because
But it's
motherfuckers about
a lot of ride or die. It's that old saying, I'd rather have a half a loaf of bread than to have a whole loaf of bread. Well, just give me no bread, because I don't want nothing. I don't want no half a loaf of bread. What kind of say? Who came up with that saying? I do not want a half a loaf of anything. Okay, if I can't have a whole loaf, just give me nothing. I don't eat the butt of the bread. Okay, keep that too.
that's
We talked about
disrespectful
we
to
talked
ass
about
and bread.
how to be alone but not lonely. Cheers to no, you
Cheers
just
and
give
no
me
bread.
no bread. Just give me no bread. No bang. I don't. I don't even have my cup that I normally have. Cheers and no bread. Just give me no bread. And that goes to segue into we did a show called How to Be Alone and Not Lonely. Number one complaint I hear women say, I'm tired of being lonely. I'm so lonely. But you are with you. You are you and you. What did my grandmother say? People
And
that
we
don't
have
like
fun.
to be like them by themselves don't like themselves because they're the only one in the room. You are in the room. How you lonely? You here? You're here, but yeah, you want somebody to spend the rest of their life with you, but you don't want to spend time with you. But you want me to be with you. You
Yeah,
with
I
you.
got to tolerate. I got to tolerate you, and you don't even want to deal with you. That
Yeah,
ain't gonna work.
exactly. Oh, it just burns me up. You're there. And then if you claim to have a relationship with God, God is there. So you just put him in the corner until you need him next time, and then all the other days you just by yourself. I think it's such. Whoo, I just can't stand when people say I'm so lonely. I don't even have time to be lonely. I got so much stuff going on. Lonely. Who got time for that?
Mm-hmm.
Just because you by yourself, it doesn't mean that you're lonely. You have to know how to occupy your time.
Yes.
And some people just do not want to be by themselves. Because I think it's like you said, not to say they don't want to face themselves, and they
That's
don't
it.
like themselves. You're literally
Mm-hmm.
complaining about being with yourself. Yeah.
I like me. All of
You
us.
you got to get to know you to like you. I see this time alone working on me, my relationship with the Lord and self care. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, that self
that's
care is very, very important.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
important.
You learn really a lot of things about yourself. You really do. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
as you go out into the world, you really start to see that the work that God has really done on you. And it's a lot. It really is. And you've only really scratched the surface of the things that you can, really do and achieve. And the doors and stuff that open, we talked about that last week. It's just really amazing. And the more you see that, you start to really like yourself, and you
Mm-hmm.
start to really see how amazing you truly are. You really do. Exactly, you really do. And she said, I have so much peace. You really do.
Yes,
Because
you do.
what's happening is that you're becoming whole. And it's hard to face yourself, it is sometimes, especially in the beginning when you first start, being you first started, seeing your issues. I just had an issue the other day where I walked into a room and I didn't, it wasn't fear. I didn't really know what it was, why I didn't really want to be in that room. But when I sat down and I really started to look at it, it triggered me because, and triggered is not a word I use a lot, because I just don't like seeing people stacked on top of each other. I don't like, growing up in the projects, that was one of my main things that I hated. I hated that they stacked people up on top of each other and they put everybody that they call poor all in one, area. And we're talking like, well, they don't count the ground floor. We're talking 12 floors, but with the ground floor plus the ground floor. So we're talking 8 apartments on each floor with at least 2 to 3 bedrooms, or four, let's say 4 to 5 people in each apartment. So now you do the math. So it's something that I just don't like. I just don't like, because as I grew older and learned more and learned, because I kept asking myself, why would you do this? And then when I started doing the research on it, I found that they put people in projects because it creates an environmental illness. It affects their mentality. And it really kind of keeps them with that crab in the barrel mentality. It keeps their self-esteem low. It keeps their motivation, their enthusiasm, and all of that. It's like being in darkness on a continual basis. It'll make anybody depressed. You know what I'm saying? She said, this is the first time I really spoiled myself with self-care and looked internally. I was always taking care of everyone else. I also had to learn to say no and focus on my self-care. I'm no good to anyone if I don't take care of me first. Absolutely. But you don't really get to that place. I know for me, I didn't really get to that place until your children are grown. Because now you done took care of everybody else, and now you have space, thank God, to start to work, on yourself. Because people they just don't like it. People, they just do not like to work on themselves and to look at themselves internally. They just go through life feeling. I talked about those feelings. How if you live your life by how you feel, you're gonna fail, because your feelings are fickle. Your feelings are unstable. You cannot live, and not only that, when you live out of how you feel, you're gonna always be deceived. That's how they came up with that in your feelings. And you're never gonna mature. You can't be in your feelings all the time. Because if you stay in your feelings all the time, you're not going to accomplish anything. You're going to be easily to be deceived. Your feelings get hurt all the time. Somebody say something, you all offended. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we talked about that in one of the shows too. I think people was like, "What? What? I never heard that before." When I say that to people, they be like, "Well, what I'm supposed to do then?" You're supposed to live out of your spirit. We are spirit. It is exhausting. We are spirit. We're not flesh, we're spirit. And people are not in touch with their spirit. So that's why when people say, I'm being my authentic self, no, you're not. Because you don't even know who your authentic self is. You're not being your authentic self. You're talking about you and your feelings. You're not being your authentic self.
Nah.
You don't even know who your authentic self is. Like, we have all of these cliches and little sayings and things that we say. That's why I love this show, because these are original titles. I don't go trolling. That is my song. Facebook. I wrote that song. It is. That's my song. This is somebody
no, it's not that, because you said that last week. You are not playing with Facebook.
No, Facebook not playing with me. Facebook gonna leave my song alone. That is my song. Man Translation is my song. Okay, that's my song. Okay, people see, because I don't go around telling people all the things that I really do and know how to do or whatever. Gonna try to get me for copyright. No, that is my song. Okay, it's somebody else rapping. That's not me rapping, but I ain't gotta rap it. I can get somebody to rap it for me. You know what I'm saying? I know the song is good. I like our song. That's why I ain't changed it yet. I like the song. So anyway, and I have two other songs. I write songs. I'm a writer. I write songs. I write poetry. I write all kind of stuff. Facebook. Okay. So, and because I'm my authentic self. You see what I'm saying? I'm my authentic self. This is me you see. I'm sharing with you my experiences, but along with my experiences comes my gifts, my talents. It comes everything, that's a part of my personality. So, and because we need to see those examples, yes. Yes, we got skills. Yvonne got skills too. We all got skills. You know what I'm saying? And we need to
Right.
show those and share those, with people so they can see that things is doable. You know what I mean? So that's why we do this show. I do this show with my son to prove that black women can have healthy relationships with their black sons without the black sons being a mama's boy.
Exactly.
Dante is his own man. He has his own thoughts. He does not have to agree with everything that I say. I don't have to. To me, as your children get older, your job to me gets easier.
Absolutely.
Now it's about guidance. It's about guide. He called me up for something. We pray about it. It's about guidance. I don't have to tell him what to do. I don't already taught him what to do. If I have to tell him everything to do, then I didn't do my job. I did not do my job. So, what you got to say about it, Dante?
No, I wholeheartedly agree. Um, and I do think mothers as a whole need to become more hands off as your children get older. You can't govern, you can't be over them, over top of them all the time, and you just let them go off do their thing. Mistakes are going to happen. Some bad decisions may be made, but trust the fact that you instilled in them what they should and should not do, and allow them to go off and do it. Like they're not going to be children forever.
And they're
You
gonna
know.
make mistakes. That was hard for me in
Yes.
the beginning, like when y'all became, went out on your own and stuff. Because as a parent, you don't want your child to make mistakes, but they're gonna make mistakes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Making the mistakes is not the issue. Is that do they learn from the mistakes and do they bounce back from those mistakes? And that's what I'm trying to convey to you, that everything that's going on in your life, it doesn't matter how small it is, it all lends itself to the big picture of what it is of your destiny and where it is that you're going. And they're all indicators. I remember, and I talk about growing up in the projects a lot. And the reason I talk about that is because the people that grow up in the projects, they don't have no hope. They don't have any hope. They don't see anything. A lot of them have never even been out of the projects and traveled and went anywhere. So I never forget where I came from, and I always want to let them know that you can make it out. You know what I'm saying? And you do
Mm-hmm.
not have to allow your situation and your circumstances to dictate where you go in life. And I don't care how long it takes for you to get there. Because this journey that I've been on, it's taken me a long time, a lot of twists and turns and roller
Uh-huh.
coasters and ups and downs and having and not having, you know what I'm saying? So I've been through a lot, but it all lends itself. When I came here to Houston, it was a conversion that happened in my life. Everything that I had gone through, everything that I had learned, every job that I had worked at, every single thing, all came together. It all came together because it has meaning. Nothing that you experience is for nothing. Every single thing has a purpose. It's like soup. The more stuff you throw in the soup and the longer you let it simmer, that's gonna be a good pot of soup right there. That's gonna be a good pot of soup, and that's how life is. It's soup, and everything that you throw in that soup, the word says, it all works together for your good. It is so true. It all works together for your good, but you cannot just not take the information. We talk about that with regret. Every decision shifts your life.
Mm-hmm.
It shifts the direction of your life. When you change lanes, you can always get back in another lane. But when you change the direction of your life, you don't know where you made the wrong turn. And regret is when you can't figure out how you made the wrong turn. So you can't get back to, back on the right street to going in the right direction of where it is that you're going. And so that's why it's so important for you to pay attention to the things that's going on. Whether you're at work, even somebody saying something to you, they saying it to you for a reason. Examine what that is. At the end of my day, I sit down with my tea because I love tea. I sit down with my tea and I recap my day.
Yes.
I recap my day, and because you miss things in the day, because God could have been speaking to you and you wasn't paying attention and you missed it. So I sit down and I recap my day, and I just say a little prayer. I just say, God, is there anything that I missed that you wanted me to see that I didn't see? Show it to me now, and He'll show it to me, and I will be cognizant of it because it only makes you better because you are somebody's mirror. You are somebody's mirror. Somebody is watching you and somebody is learning something from you, whether it be good or bad. You are somebody's mirror. And we talked about that. We talked about this is probably gonna be the last one. We talked about I got a whole list of stuff of good shows we did. But we talked about the ultimate deception, mirroring, when people mirror you to deceive you. But people can also mirror you for good, not just to deceive you. Because people watch you to see where you're vulnerable at because they're predatory in nature. But people also watch you to learn from you. When they watch you, what are they seeing? Are you raising the standard everywhere you go? Just naturally? Because you live your life at such a high standard? I learned that when I was a flight attendant. When I left my job and then I went to work for the airline, and then I went to flight attendant school, my money got real low. Okay, so I had a lot of money, a little bit of money, middle sized money. So, and that's when I learned the quality of my life has nothing to do with money. I was traveling everywhere with very little money. And because I work for the airline, of course we fly for free, but it's a certain lifestyle, it's a lifestyle change. Because what happens is even though you fly free, you can't fly when everybody else fly. So you have to do everything off season. So even though I'm not a flight attendant anymore, I just kept that in my life. So I don't do anything when everybody else do it. So when everybody is out on the weekend, I'm not out on the weekend. And it's like, because I adopted that into my life, is less stressful. Do you know when you go out on the weekend, everybody out, you can't get nothing to lines along. But if you go on a Tuesday,
wide open.
Yeah.
Wide open.
You get all kind of free stuff. You go to book a hotel, book your flight from Tuesday to Thursday. Watch how cheap your ticket be. Watch don't nobody be in the hotel. Watch them give you free stuff. Watch you ain't got to stand in line for nothing. You see what I'm saying? Because why? Everybody do everything on the weekend, on the weekend, on the weekend. I live my life. I adopted that into my lifestyle. I don't go to doctor's appointments on Mondays. I don't do things on Fridays. I go to doctor's appointments on Wednesdays or Thursdays. Why? Because nobody is there. Nobody's there. I don't go out on the weekends. Why? Because everybody is out. You see what I'm saying? I go to if I go to a movie. Once upon a time when we had movies, go to the movie on Thursday.
$5.
$5.
They still have that.
They still have that.
I think they still have it. I think it's on Tuesdays now, but yes, they still have it.
Yeah. So I learned that by being a flight attendant. She said this is true. I typically take my vacation and travel midweek. Yes. I do everything not really the opposite. I call it off season because the only way we fly is if nobody's on the plane. Nobody's on the plane on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Wednesdays and maybe and some Sundays too, because everybody want to be back home by Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to go wherever it is I want to go. I have a friend. Matter of fact, the friend who we kind of went the flight attendant thing together. he still works at the airport, so he still gets to travel free. But he travels now internationally. He be everywhere. And people be like,
Hmm.
how did you get, how did you? Because he doesn't go. Flight attendants, we don't travel when everybody else travel. We can't. We'll never get on a plane. So I live my life like I'm still a flight attendant. And a lot of people don't even know I was a flight attendant. I done some of everything.
Praise
Because
the
why?
Lord.
Because it all works itself together in my life. You'll be surprised some of the stuff that I have done. I could be a train operator, driving train. I done did some of everything. And at one point, people be like, "Why she always moving around? Why she always doing this?" And that's why before Beyonce came out with the Renaissance album, I was calling myself the Renaissance woman for 2 years. Interest. You don't have to master everything. Sometimes you go in an interview and you look at the can you still hear me? I don't know what happened to my camera. Can you still hear me?
I can say her, yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's going on, whether it's me or you. But anyway, you can still hear me.
I can say her,
My camera went out
and
for
I can
some
see you.
reason. Okay, now I can see you too. So
All
it
right.
was like, you don't have to master everything. Sometimes you just have to have a knowledge of something, a working knowledge of it. People always use that jack of all trades and masters of none, but they never forget what the whole thing says. It
Oh,
says it's
yes,
better.
please.
Yes, but it says it's better because it's a jack of all trades and masters of none, but it's better to have the knowledge of all. They always stop right there. It's better to have a knowledge of it all. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you're in business, you're a generalist. You only need to master the thing you're in business for. You know what I mean? So it relieves so much stress when I don't do things at the same time that everybody else does it. It's like you live in a totally different world from everybody else. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I love it. I do. Because you need to eliminate as many stressors in your life as you possibly can. People freaking out about these monkeypox.
Not your introverts. We ain't. We in the
But I'm
house any
saying
damn way.
though, well, I'm saying, okay, we got like 3 minutes. But I'm saying though, like social media, we know is social engineer, right? They study your behavior, so they know people
Mm-hmm.
going to. I'm just going to stay in the house. So you're gonna make yourself a prisoner. I'm not doing that.
Introverts in the house anyway. It don't matter. When the whole COVID thing broke out, I was fine. I was in here chilling. I only got to go out to get food, and for the most part, I don't really need a whole bunch of that because if you know me, I got water. But anyway, but no, it is.
Okay, okay.
So some of the stuff is socially engineered to create panic. It's not as serious as most people think it is, but when the whole COVID thing came out, and it was like, yeah, you can get diarrhea, and then there's no toilet paper in here. It's like,
What?
yeah, some of the stuff is
She said
created.
she's still in the house. She said she's still in the house. Well, what I did was I went out. I think when the hurricane hit, whatever year that was here in Texas, um, when they told everybody to stay in, I went out. When everybody was in, I was out. When everybody came out, then I went in. I tell you, I live my life like I'm still a flight attendant. Because what I was doing was I was going to see the supply chain. People forget that somebody has to deliver your food. It doesn't
Hmm.
magically appear. So I was going to see if the supply chain was compromised and see, if they were still delivering stuff and what was in the stores and what wasn't in the stores. And she said, ain't nothing in them streets for me. Been there, done that in the early 90s, right? So I was surveying the area to see, make sure I ain't gotta pack my bag and leave and head for the hill.
That bag by
gotta,
the door. I'm ready.
gotta survey
That
the
bag is
area.
by the door.
So the purpose of this show, the purpose of the recap, is for you to just, sit down and whether you do it weekly, maybe you do it daily, because I kind of like do it daily at the end of my day, especially if I feel like, I've kind of been rude to somebody or if I've been like a little curt, because I could be real straightforward and down your throat. And so I have to and examine myself
With no hesitation.
and say, do I need to make any adjustments or changes? And I think that's important along the way. You have to do this along the way. So whether you do a recap or a reflection daily, whether you do it monthly, I think you should do it pretty often. So that's why I wanted to come in and kind of go through some of the shows. We didn't really go through all of them, but a lot of the popular shows. And like I said last week, I'm really proud of Dante for stepping up to the plate. Dante was the least likely person to be communicating because we talk about the middle child and the golden child and the scapegoat child and dysfunctional families, and we all have some dysfunction in our family. And Dante was the quiet one, so for him to be here and to share with you and with his mama,
Yes.
I'm really happy. Thank you, sis. See how she's like, y'all have some great topics. I do. I really try, and like I said, I don't troll. I try. I just try to go pray and be like, okay, God, what do people need to hear? What is it that they need? What's gonna make their life better? He does. Dante does. He does. And she said you
Thank
have
you.
good wisdom, Dante. He
Thank
really
you.
does. He has good wisdom. Yeah. So, because people ask me a lot, well, how do you keep your sons out of jail? I be like, I just threaten their life. Yeah, I'm the warden. You ain't going to no jail, and if you do,
Nope.
I'm busting you out. Mama gonna bust you out. You will be out. And not only that
And get
too,
your butt busted in the meantime.
when you share your testimony, the word of God says we overcome by the word of our testimony. Just listen to what that sounds like. We overcome. So when I share my testimony, when you hear it, you overcome it. Okay, it says we overcome. And so when I share my experiences and share my testimony of how I made it through something, because I used to have a really bad temper. I used to have a really bad temper growing up. And I would kill you and I would hurt you real bad. So it's been people in my past that I have really done really bad things to. It's not funny. Stop making faces, Dante. And so that's not the kind of person I wanted to be. So I realized that my environment was starting to seep in. It was starting to get to me. It was really starting to get to me. And so, thank goodness, because I'm aware of myself, I don't really have those issues anymore. I don't have those anger issues, because I'm really a pretty laid back person. But that side is like still there, and I really wanted to stay dormant because what I learned about myself was when you get angry or you allow somebody to push your buttons, you're giving them your power. That's what I learned. And I don't like people having power over me. I remember when I used to smoke cigarettes, and when I tried to quit smoking, I didn't know that cigarettes was addicting. I never knew that. I didn't know that until I tried to quit. Woo-hoo-wee. And so I don't like things to have a hold of me. Like I don't like people to have a hold of me. Don't try to control me and all of that. You're gonna have a problem on your hands. And so when I found out that cigarettes was addictive, I wanted to I was like, Lord, you gotta deliver me now. And Dante, how old was you when I went to church and got delivered from cigarettes and have not smoked
I
since?
definitely know I was in elementary school,
Yeah,
Valley View.
it's
So
been probably like
this is
20. It's been 20,
six.
about 25 years since I smoked a cigarette or smoked anything. Or smoke anything because I just don't want to be addicted to it. I don't want things to have a hold of me like that. So when I was like 15, asking my friends to teach me how to smoke, because I was the only one that didn't smoke cigarettes. They smoke cigarettes. And now you think they would have said, girl, you don't want to smoke this? This ain't this addictive. No, they ain't said, come on. We went to the store, bought some cigarettes. So I don't, that's just how I am. So when I saw that, when people push your buttons and manipulate you and stuff like that, they have power over you. They be having you doing all kind of stuff. I was like, I just don't want to live my life that way. I want to have control over me. I don't want to control nobody else. I just want to have control over myself. And so, that really turned the corner, in my life, and it gives you a totally different perspective. So that's why we did this recap all willy nilly and out the blue. But when it's your show, you can do what you want to do. And I want you guys to do the same because I want you to have awareness. I want you to practice self awareness. I want you to be aware of yourself at all times. And I want you to be aware of yourself even when you're out in public, with people, because it's extremely important. So that's all I have from my heart to your heart. We love you, Dante. Close us out. Give us some
That was
words
that
of
was
wisdom. Give us some words of wisdom. No, that was my closeout. You got to close out your
That's
own
a
time.
recap because my
Close us out,
closeout simple.
Dante.
The closeout simple. Go back and watch the shows.
Go back and watch the
That's it.
shows.
Let us
Yes,
know
we
what you
have.
think. Again, we're on YouTube, the YouTube channel. I gotta put that link up some way somehow. But yes,
Yeah,
definitely go on the
y'all
YouTube.
gonna have to start telling people about the show. Thank you, Yvonne. Yvonne is one of my oldest friends. I've been knowing Yvonne for like 30 something years. Yvonne knew my children when they were little. I knew her children when they were little. And before I knew the Lord, we used to sit on the Capitol steps and smoke weed like crazy people, and then go ahead and we work for the government and go back to work after we smoke weed on the Capitol steps. Could have got locked up or anything. We always talk about that. How we used to be working for the federal government, and Yvonne still work for the federal government. And how we used to sit on the government steps and smoke weed and go back to work. Lord have mercy. When you young, I tell you, you do things that you just don't. You just be. I think when you be young, y'all. She said we would have been just getting. We probably would have been, and it's crazy because it was. I don't know if you remember Yvonne, but it was a guard that there was guards that used to walk around on those grounds while we sitting up there smoking weed at lunchtime, like crazy people. When you young, like you really think you're invincible. You're so not aware of yourself when you're young. Well, we were in our 20s. We were old enough to know better, Yvonne. What was we doing? We was just acting up,
Not
and we
Karen.
didn't care. And we didn't care, and did it about 3 times out the week. We just did not care now, like really.
Hey,
And so that's why we need our generation, Yvonne, to help the people out, to help the young people out, because they need guidance, because they be doing crazy stuff just like we used to be doing crazy stuff.
dear federal government. I never smoke weed, and I'm trying to get in with y'all. So do not let this reflect
You
on
better get
me
up with
because
Yvonne. Yvonne done
I
left the government 25 times and kept coming back. You better get up with
I don't smoke weed. I eat though. I'm gonna eat.
Well, Yvonne is the person to talk to because she still works for the government. I don't work for the government no more. She done quit 14 times and went back and got her job back every.
Thank you. I gotta see who that is. I think that's
Oh,
think that's Brother Ray. Hold on.
Hey,
Yeah,
Brother
that's right.
Ray. Hey,
What's
Brother
going on,
Ray.
Ray?
What he say, Doctor?
No, that was his
said,
comment. The Facebook user.
She said, yep, and they kept taking me. Yep, so you better get with Yvonne. You want to get with the government, you better get with her. Hey, Ray. Yes, so y'all got it. Recap, look back, learn from those mistakes. It makes you better, it makes you a better person, but it also makes you really knowledgeable and full of wisdom. You'll be surprised. And not only that, right now, in this point in my life, I have so much knowledge and wisdom. I feel like I'm just the answer walking. I feel like every person that I meet, I have their answer. I have answers for everybody everywhere I go because those people that you encounter, they're giving you something and you're getting something. It's an exchange that's happening. You're not just meeting that person just for nothing. There's an exchange that's taking place. Even at your job, even at your job, you are gaining. When I work at jobs right now, I look at them as assignments. Back then, I looked at them as assignments, but look at it as a boot camp. You're just extracting. You're getting information. You're learning because it's going to lend itself to something bigger in your life, and recognize when your blessings come. People be praying for stuff and then God send them the blessing and it don't come the way they think it should come. They totally ignore it. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Income is not always money. Income is information. You use the raw material to make the money. Income is information. What are you doing with the information? That's all I got to say. Love you. Thank you, Ray, for all of your support, all of your words of encouragement. Dante be telling me, the feedback that you be giving. Thank you so much. And we will see you guys next Sunday.